All right, on to one of your final lessons, 12.3, dot plots and frequency tables. A dot plot's a number line, and it's gonna have dots on it, like above it. You're gonna have stacks of dots above numbers. And then frequency, you're looking at how often something happens. How many times does that number occur? So put the title. Oops, I gotta get my pencil ready. Put the title, 12.3 dot plots and frequency tables. You should have dot plot. It's a number line with marks that show the frequency or how often a number appears. Okay, frequency is how often something appears. So let's look at our first dot plot. All right, I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. Oops, not that much. Okay, so here's our first one. Hannah's training for a walkathon. The table shows the number of miles she walks each day. She has 1 day left in her training. How many miles is she most likely to walk on the last day? So what you're trying to find here is you're trying to find the one that occurs the most. You're looking for the most common one, the one that you see there the most. So what they're going to do is they're going to make a number line, which they've already started for us. And they scaled it. Oops. They scaled it 0 to 10. And you'll notice here the numbers range anywhere from 1 to 9 on the scale. So therefore, their number line is going to go from 0 to 10. They have already done 0 to 4 for us. So now we, just need to finish out anything 5 on. So what we want to do here is first we kind of want to go through and we want to cross off all the ones that are under 5. Okay. All right. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. All right. So now I like to kind of change up the colors here. So like first we're gonna do 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5. So you're gonna put 5 dots above 5. Then you're gonna do, there's no 7. No, I'm sorry, we're moving on to 6. Whew, I can count. Oops. Okay, I guess it would help. There. Okay, 6, there's 1. So you're gonna put 1 dot above 6. And then there's no 7, there's no 8, but there are a couple 9s. So there's 1 here and 1 there, and you'll see we have everything crossed off now, and we're gonna put 2 dots above 9. So now, the question is, the number of miles Hannah walked most often is the value with the tallest stack. So the one with the most dots is the 5 miles. So the number of miles that she's most likely to walk on the last day is the 5 miles. All right, let's look at another one. So now this one's going to move on to a frequency table. Okay, so let me kind of zoom in a little bit. All right, so now you're going to do a frequency table for the number of times they worked out for a certain amount of minutes. What it's asking you to find is how many of Jill's workouts lasted exactly 90 minutes. So you'll see here that there's 7 that were 30 minutes. So all our 30 minutes we can cross off. So we want to go through and we want to find all of the 30 minutes and we want to cross them off. And there should be 7. Yes. Okay. Next up, I'm going to change the color and we're going to do 60 minutes. So we want to find all the 60 minutes and I'm going to cross those out with green. I believe there's 11. Okay, there should be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 10, 10, 10. I thought there was 11. Unless I miscounted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so there are 11. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to another color and we're going to do 90 minutes. So everywhere that I see a 90 minute, I'm going to cross out with red. Okay, and that would be 4. And then all the 120s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to put 5 there. So how many of her workouts lasted exactly 90 minutes? That would be 4. Okay, so now we're still going to look at frequency, but now you're going to find the percentage of that. So the nice thing here is they've already done the frequency for us. They set up intervals. So they did intervals, 3 to 7 laps, 8 to 12 laps, 13 to 17 laps, 18 to 22 laps. And then they told us how many times did they swim laps in that interval. So 3 to 7, they did it 4 times. 8 to 12, they did it 6 times. 13 to 17 laps, anything between that number was 7 times. And then 18 to 22 laps, so anything between those two numbers, they did it 3 times. Now, you want to add this up because you need to know the total number of frequency that you have here. It's actually really easy to add up because that's a 10 and that makes a 10. So then that makes it 20. So you want to remember that. Now, let's start with the first one, the first blank we need to fill in. So for the number of laps ranging from 13 to 17, they did that 7 times. So now you're going to go 7 over 20 because 20 is the total number of frequency. Now the nice thing about this is 20 can go into 100 and 100% is per 100. So we want to multiply top and bottom by 5 because 5 will change the 20 into 100. When we want to find the percent and that bottom number in the fraction can go into 100, it's really easy to get the percent then. So when you multiply across, you get 35 over 100. So that means 35%. And then you do the same thing for the 18 to 22 interval. So there's 3 that fall into that interval. So it's going to be 3 over 20. And again, you're going to multiply by 5 because that's going to change 20 to 100. And that's going to give you 15 over 100. So this will be 15%. Now, your percent total will be 100. If it's not, then there's something wrong. Okay, so now it asks you to do one more thing. It asks you to, it says Ricardo swam 18 or more laps on 15% of the days. Would be your answer because you're doing relative frequency table. So we started out with just doing the frequency. Now we're doing relative frequency, and relative frequency is you're finding the percentage of times that they did that. Okay, ooh, that is way too zoomed in. Okay, so we're gonna again do the same thing. We're gonna finish the dot plot that they started for us. They already did 1 and 2. So anywhere that you see a 1 and a 2, we can cross that off. Okay, so those are all gone. Okay, I'm going to change colors. Now let's do 3s. How many times do we have a 3? So we got 1, 2, 3 it looks like. So you're going to put 3 dots here. Okay. And then any 4s? So anywhere that you see a 4, it looks like there's just 1. Okay, and so you're going to put a dot, 1 dot above 4. 5. So there's 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3. So you're going to put 1, 2, and 3. And now 6. I need a different color. Let's do black. Okay, find the 6s. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. So you're going to put 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 7. Nope. Need a different color. So we're going to go with purple. 8. Yep. 1, 2, 3. 3. So you're going to put 3 dots above 8. Okay, what do we have left? We have a 12. We have 11, 10, 9, and another 10. So there's just 5 left. So there's a 9. Okay, and then how many 10s? 2. Okay, and then there's an 11, and then there's a 12. So you've completed the dot plot. Now, which one's the most common one? So in other words, which one has the highest stack? So 6 kilometers. Oops. Okay, so you're going to say 6 kilometers because it is the tallest stack. There you go, forgot the C. Okay, so now I need to adjust this a little bit. I'm going to bring this up just a tiny bit. All right, so we're going to make a frequency table. And our frequency table is going to be daily distance. Okay. And so then we're going to have 3 columns. We're going to have the distance column, and the distance columns are going to be these intervals here. So, and then this one's going to be frequency. Okay, so this one's going to be 1 to 3 kilometers, 4 to 6 kilometers, 7 to 9 kilometers, and 10 to 12 kilometers. Now you're probably wondering, why do I have a 3rd column? You'll see when we get to number 4. Okay, so now we have to count up how many, and so you're going to come back up here to your dot plot and draw a line here, and then 4 to 6, and then 7 to 9, and then 10 to 12. So we're going to count up how many do we have between 1 and 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to put an 8 there. And then you're going to do 4 to 6. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can put 9 there. And then 7 to 9, you're going to count that up, and that's going to be 4. And then you're going to count up how many dots you have between 10 and 12. Now, the nice thing about this is when you add up all these, your frequency, you get 25. I can't really see that, but you do get 25. Okay, so now I'm actually going to get rid of, did not mean to do that. Sorry. Here you go. Okay, so now we're going to we're actually going to create, see if I can do this a little bit neater. Probably not. Distance, frequency, and then we have relative frequency. Okay, so now remember, relative frequency is finding out the percent. So we have our 1 to 3 kilometers, our 4 to 6 kilometers, our 7 to 9 kilometers, and we have our 10 to 12 kilometers. No, shh. Sorry, my dogs are going to start barking. Go to the... Yeah, my dogs are going to start barking. Hold on. Trying to get them to calm down. Okay, so if you hear my dogs barking, just ignore. All right, so, and then I'm going to copy over my frequency, 8, 9, 4, and 4. All right, so now I told you when I added all this up, it made 25, which is good. So now we need to find the percentage of 8. So you're going to do 8 over 25. Now, the reason why 25 is such a good number is because 25 can go into 100. 25 times 4, think 4 quarters. So you're going to multiply top and bottom by 4, and you're going to get 32 over 100. So this is 32%. Then you're going to do 9 over 25, and still multiply by 4, and you're going to get 36 over 100, so that's going to be 36%. Then you're going to do 4 over 25, and you're going to multiply top and bottom by 4, and you're going to get 16 over 100, so that's 16%, which means this one's also 16%. Okay, so we're almost done. We're going to do one more like that. We need to do a dot plot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a really long line. I'm going to make it be 0 to 15. Let's see if I made it long enough. Okay, looks like I did a good job on making it long enough this time. Oops, I did 14 twice. Okay, so it says make a dot plot of the data. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go through, are there any ones? It looks like it actually starts on 3. So 3, 3, and it looks like there's 2 of them. So it looks like we're going to put 2 dots above 3. I'm going to change the color. So now we're going to go to 4, and we're going to see we got 1. I hate looking through these because sometimes it's easy to miss. I see only 1 4, so for now, so I'm going to put 1 dot above 4. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to another color. Let's try 5. Do we have any 5s? Does not look like we have any 5s. What about 6s? Do we have any 6s? My dogs might start barking again. Sorry about that, guys. 6s, I don't see any 6s. 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like 11 is the first one. So mark off all the 11s. And that looks like it's just 3. So you're going to come to 11 here, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to do, change the color again. Let's do 12. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's do 13. So I cannot do that color. What am I missing? Let's do green. Okay, so let's do 13. I think there's a lot of 13s. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and so then all we have left is we have a 14, 15, 15, 14, 14, 15. Okay, so let's see. How many 14s do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put 4. Okay, and then how many 15s do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's hope that I didn't miss anything. Now they want you to make a frequency table and a relative frequency table. Okay, so it's going to look... all right, so daily sit-ups. Frequency. Sorry, I wish my pen could be I wish I could be a little bit neater, but it's kind of hard to write with this pen. And then we're going to do relative frequency. Okay, so now we need to make intervals. Let's go with 3 intervals. Okay, so let's do 0 to 5. I'm sorry, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and why not? So let's do that. Let's go 1 to 5, and then we're going to do 6 to 10, and then we're going to do 11 to 15. Okay, so you have 3 under 1 to 5, 0 here, so this one's going to be 0%, and then 11 to 15, you got a bunch. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. Okay, and so when you add up all your frequencies, you have 25, which is a great number to deal with. Because remember, 25 can go into 100. So this one's going to be 3 over 25. So you're going to multiply top and bottom by 4. And that's going to be 12 over 100, so that's going to be 12%. Then the next one, you're going to do 22 over 25. Now, again, you're going to multiply by 4, but I want you to keep in mind that this column, this last column, when it's all added up, it's going to equal 100%. 22 plus 4 is 88, so this is 88%. Then think about it, 88 plus 12 equals 100%. So now it says, describe how you decided on the intervals for the frequency tables. For me, I looked at 1 through 15 and I divided it into 3 equal parts. I just divided 15 by 3. And so that went 1 to 5 because you want your intervals to be equal. Could someone use the information in the frequency table to make a dot plot? No, they can't, because you wouldn't know where that 3 goes. You wouldn't know, okay, so there were 3 that were between 1 and 5. So what does that mean? That there was 1 on 1, 1 on 4, maybe they were all on 3? You don't know that. You don't know the exact number it's going to be on. Like here you have 22. So there was 22 times that it fell between 11 and 15, but you don't know exactly what number it fell on. You don't know those 22 where, you don't know that there was 3 on 11, 4 on 12, and so on. So you can't work backwards. It doesn't work. You can't start with the frequency and then make a dot plot, but you can make a frequency table from a dot plot. Okay, so let's look at another one. See, it says the manager of a fitness center asked members to rate the fitness center. The results of the survey are shown in the frequency table. What % of the members in the survey rated the center as excellent or good? What do you need to find? You need to find the relative frequency. So you're going to find the relative frequency of surveyed as good or excellent. So you want to find the relative frequency of these two. Relative frequency of excellent or good. Sorry for the messy penmanship. All right, so the first thing you want to do, though, is you really want to add this up, the 18, the 15, 21, and 6. You want to add up, okay, so you've got 18 and 15. So that's going to be 23, and then we have 21, which is going to give us 44 plus 6, which is going to give us 50, which is good. So for the excellent, okay, so for the excellent, we want to go 18 over 50. Remember where I got the 50 is I added all of these up, and when I added them all up, I got 50. So that's going to be my bottom number when I'm trying to figure out the relative frequency. So for excellent, we're going to multiply by 2, and we're going to get 36. So excellent is going to be 36%, and then we're going to do good, and good is going to be 15 over 50, and we're going to multiply by 2 again. We're going to get 30. So good is going to be 30%. So now you can complete the sentences. The percentage of members who rated the center as excellent is 36%. The percentage of members who rated the center as good, 30%. And then you have to add the 2 up as either good or excellent, and that would be 66%. Okay, one more. We need to go through and fill in the frequency table first. They already did 15. So anywhere that you see 15, we are going to cross off. We need to find 5 of them. Okay, so now we want to find 30. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can put an 8 there. And then you're going to do 45. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we want to do 60. And so we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, now add this up. So it should be 20. this is going to be 20. And that actually makes sense because if this is 5 over 20, and you would multiply top and bottom by, top and bottom by, not by 4, by 5. Sorry, you're going to multiply top and bottom by 5, you'd get 25, so your relative frequency is 25%. Then you would do the same thing for 8 over 20, and you're going to multiply by 5, and you're going to get 40%. Then you're going to do the same thing for 4 over 20, and you're going to multiply by 5, and you're going to get 20%. And then you're going to do the same thing for 3 over 20, multiply by 5, and you're going to get 15%. So, and that's all there is to it. If you need help, ask, and I'll try to explain maybe a little bit more. But hopefully as you go through, make sure as you're going through and doing the Think Central, make sure that you, if you're a little confused, do the steps. Click on the steps tab and it'll walk you through the steps on doing the problem.